Greetings, Shelpers, and welcome to yet another Zombie Survivors. It is another top-down. You can play it with one hand. I mentioned that specifically for people who only have one hand due to amputation or severe cerebral palsy, or maybe you've had a stroke. You can still definitely play this game one-handed, and that's important to know. There are a lot of options you can go through, including the blood and the gore, but there is an accessibility option somewhere. I'm kind of dumb, hang on. But you have all this kind of stuff, your resolutions. By the way, it is Steam Deck for quality, so that means it is meant to be played with the Steam Deck as well, or can be played with the Steam Deck as well. And that is a great thing because a lot of places and devs say, oh, this is playable on the Steam Deck, and it isn't. But this is definitely verified. I can attest right now that is what we are playing on. And they have a bunch of different stuff you can do. Minimap transparency, where it is, the minimap scale. I don't really use the minimap much in this game for reasons. You can do the HUD transparency. Like, they give you a fair amount of options. Some of the text is still a little small. I'm gonna have a little trouble reading it on the overlay, but I don't really when I am doing stuff on my own. So you even have some UI scaling. You can lower the game speed if you're also having trouble. It disables the leaderboards, but you can definitely have that happen. You can change the enemy indicator color to something else. I could do blue. Let's do blue for now. I'm gonna forget I did this, but this also has photosensitivity warning, so before I get started, if you have photosensitivity, I know you might not want to watch this, and that is okay. Oh, did I do something wrong?
I need to fan the window.
Okay, so the volume is maxing me out. It is a very active game and it has rock music, so I get that. Okay, we're just adjusting the volume on the OBS overlay for now. And thank you very much, Husby. There are also guides on how to play, leaderboards, Zombiepedia. Eventually you will unlock some of this. Like in the item pool, you eventually get enough items where you can have the ability to turn off some of them. And you don't start with this many. I've worked my way up to this many, and you can have different presets. One of the reasons I have some of these things banned simply had to do with one of the quests in this game had to have me pick up certain healing items, and it was hard to get the healing items with so many items available because there are only like 5 maybe. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5. So out of this entire pool, I had to find it, and even with rerolls and banishments, it was still kind of hard. Husby had a more difficult time. This is only one player right now. I would love for it to be multiplayer in the future. Game devs, if you're listening to me, multiplayer, yes, please, now. Yeah, I love it. Would buy it again. Husby and I are both loving this game. So you only have the first 3 people at the beginning. I'm telling you progress because I am going to be showing you things. So this guy has like a pistol, and your guns and stuff over time, if you level them up in run, can actually transform. Like a pistol can go into an SMG, can go into a rocket launcher, that kind of thing. And so SWAT guy can call in a helicopter strike, all this and that. Tank guy has like buzzsaw blades, which I can increase. No, I can't. What am I doing with my life? He can drop mines. The other guy, SWAT, has like a mine, like grenade trail he can drop. And they have synergies. So basically, even though this is single player, you can have up to 3 people follow you. And they all have different stuff that you can increase. There are badges in this game. But yeah, the skill trees are actually fairly fleshed out. See, my medic is now level 110. I've been playing this for a little bit, if you couldn't tell. And this is one of the badges you get when you're playing with her. So chemical damage. So now that badge, if I take it for my run, will be stronger. I usually take like more generalized stuff than that, but has a modifier for XP for one. There are synergies, so like she works with Pyro and she works with Huntress, stuff like that. You can increase their speed in the general tab, their area of effect, all their dodge chance, their health regen, all kinds of fun stuff. And as you go along, you get more points, and of course you level up slower as you go because, you know, you're higher level like normal. So Pyro's makeshift bomb, I will increase that. And then there we go. I'll explain more as time goes on, but yeah, this is their whole tree. And if you use them in a run, you get general points, but you also get runs for our points for them specifically. Okay, we're gonna play. There is quick run if you just want to. Now, you can just run randomly, but you can also take missions. And the mission log will tell you, this is the story missions, but each character has their own missions. And it's like respond to 5 SOS signals, defeat 30 bosses and survive for 20 minutes, ghost had, use reroll on 3 different item chests, so on and so forth. And it tells you what you get, and it also gives you more about their backgrounds or stories. And then they have things like chats at the canteen for like idle chatter between some of the characters. So Huntress says, if you got any other ideas, I'm all ears. Engineer says, is this really something we should be focusing on right now? This is an important stuff. A taste of normalcy can give you perspective. Oh yeah, normalcy, as if forcing parties on people was ever normal. Yeah, engineer is kind of standoffish, and by the way, if you hate pronouns, you will not like this game. Engineer is they, them. So, and if you're the kind of person that has a problem with that, you shouldn't fucking be watching my stream either. So, moving on. Keep your voice down, you'll spoil the surprise, said SWAT. Wait, says Huntress, engineer's got a point though. Do we even know if Tank likes surprises? Yeah, Tank's the guy with the buzzsaws, and he apparently is one of the older people. Huntress is looking for her teenage daughter, so Huntress is an older woman. Okay, so the radio gives you like random ass stuff every once in a while to read. So we've got a new challenger for the title of Grossest Zombie. This one's half decaying, butt naked, has a long tongue, but that's not all. But they must have been really popular in real life, or when they were alive. I'm sorry, real life is though, yeah. I swear I saw it grow these like pustules on the ground. Not sure what happens when you come near. So it's kind of telling you about different things they've seen. And mission. Okay, the doctor has a mission in the isolated city, which is the first level, so that's perfect for us. I gotta get my hands on what I need to devise a cure for the virus. This is the closest I've ever been to a breakthrough. I have to start clinical trials, and to do that, I'll need volunteers. She needed money and the world is collapsing, so I don't know why we're here with that, but it's going to be difficult doing all this strictly above board. I don't let any moral qualms stop us from taking the necessary step. We need to work with what we got. So I need to liberate 5 survivors. Okay, I'll explain that. It'll be fine. So now I can go to play. Okay, it claims that we need the isolated city and we need her, but we can also do endurance, which endurance is you literally can survive as long as possible. Here are your badges that you get on their skill trees. Anything from extra damage to critical chances to more hit points to explosive damage to dodge chance. There is one that upgrades your health points and armor. The ones I run are the ones with health regen. Yeah, you need that eventually. They're only letting me use difficulty 2 for this. Why? Oh, fine. Let me see if I can get this going. Why can I not go back with endurance 1? Okay, fine. I think it's because I lasted an hour in the city recently. I could be wrong. I thought that was Green Hell Zone I lasted in, but so it's an auto shooter, so I only have to use my left hand to move. I'm not sure if you can like remap your stuff where you can use your right hand to move if that is your pleasure, probably. But yeah, our doctor starts off with just a gun. It takes a minute to reload, or, you know, not a literal minute. And yes, you pick up the XP off the ground. Okay, so I'm farther in. She does not start out with resuscitation, but when you die, you can actually come back to life, which is really fucking helpful in a lot of these things. The medical drone can harm other things when you're walking or heal when you're holding still, but you can also like change that around when you get the evolutions, and you could possibly get an evolution that all heal or all whatever, and this is like stuff you can throw, so I'm gonna pick that for now. Yes, it is important to upgrade your base damage on your guns so you can evolutionize your guns, but you really need the extra like abilities they can give you over time. So when I'm doing these SOS signals, what I really want to do is at first, when the first signal pops up, I want to take another survivor. I know you're gonna be like, why? You can have 3 to a team. So as long as I don't pick a third survivor, I can still liberate them with the SOS signals. And it's important to make absolutely sure I save the third survivor to keep going with the SOS, because after you get other SOS signals and you have 3 people, you can no longer liberate, you just get level ups, and I would have failed the mission. So we don't want to do that. You can also do runs without any kind of mission at all, but one of the things that makes this game so great, in my opinion, is that you do have missions. So there's like only 5 or so levels, and that's the way it is with a lot of these like little indie games, right? But because you have all these missions and you have to go through and like find this signal, liberate these people, kill this many bosses, survive this amount of time, it really adds a lot to your playthrough. Okay, this is Mechanic and this is Pyro. I can't quite see which one is weaker. I think this guy barely, or this at 91. What? Pyro is weaker? Just barely, but Pyro is weaker. I'm gonna try to level him up. So Pyro at the beginning has an axe that he does a 360 attack with. I'm going to upgrade the medical drone for now. Eventually, yes, I do want to upgrade Pyro's axe, but I want his other stuff. So Pyro was a firefighter at one point and then realized he really liked fire, which is a good thing in an apocalypse, not so much when you're trying to be a firefighter. Okay, so he throws Molotovs. Let's get that going. And for now, those pink clouds are mine because they're chemical reactions. So like the medic actually can like throw weird shit. Okay, so I don't like no pain, no gain actually. So I'm gonna banish. Okay, so it shows you with an axe, and I'm gonna click out no pain, no gain. And then I'm gonna take more resuscitation, because it gives you like higher life when you come back, etc. Okay, so the things on the map that are showing like a heart, that's health. You can see it on my mini map as well, but since I can't really differentiate the mini map when I'm trying to stay alive, I have the indicators show up on the map for me. So we're gonna take I guess we'll upgrade the drone still. So the money over there helps us get more points for general upgrades, supposedly. Okay, Firewalk is new. We'll take that. Yeah, he leaves a trail of fire for a while after he walks. See? The golden arrow is showing me where a chest for an item is. The items I showed you about banishing earlier. So these are some of my items. And I can choose what to pick. Again, if you have trouble seeing like I do, you can hold down the middle button on your controller and, you know, click your left trigger in. I think we'll do the ruby for now. You can get rid of them later with other things or whatnot. At first, you only have about 6 slots. I think I'm up to 8 now. Yeah, these things will kind of run after you. They have different enemies in different places. Like, so far I've been to a city, a desert, and like a place with a lot of like green goo. Okay, I'll upgrade your axe. Eventually I get rid of the axe. I don't really like his 360 attack much, but they're all more useful as time goes by. Like, I'll absolutely hate a character. Like, I hated Tank at the beginning. And then I started opening up Tank stuff more, and I'm like, aha! Oh, makeshift bomb, something new. Let's go, Pyro! But yeah, they're all just called what they are as far as, like, they don't really tell their real names. It's just, here's what I was doing before all this shit happened. But yeah, there's a ranger and stuff. The ranger is the one you unlock last, usually, because you need to get, like, a player level of a certain height. Let's see. We'll take Firewalk again. And like I said, later on you can unlock on their trees evolutions for this. So, resuscitation, when you are brought back to life, it could like suck in all the items like a magnet would, or there are different things they can all do. Okay. Makeshift bomb, let's go. Ooh, I'm not doing the absolute best here, am I? We have to get this signal, and instead of picking another follower, because I would fail, we have to liberate. And when we liberate, we get a level up. So, that's good for us. And then we can move on with our lives. We might as well go find that heart. Eep! Stop running after me. Stop running, stop running, stop running, stop. Oof. Yeah, they wanted me to do this endurance on level 2, so that's kind of why I'm getting my ass kicked in already. Even though I've been playing this a lot, level 2 still hurts. But it's okay, as long as we finish. Sometimes if you finish before the level is supposed to end, or before you die, the game is like, yeah, you did it, it's fine. I probably should have waited till I had somebody like, SWAT, but it'll be okay. She does have the bring me back to life thing. Experiment 21. It's probably 2-1, don't at me. So it's been a while since I streamed, so I hope you're all doing okay. We went to that craft fair market thing, vendor, whatever the hell that was supposed to happen. And at first, we couldn't tell where it was because another event like snuck in. So like this relay race or whatever the fuck it was like having everybody like line up and sign up, and the whole street this thing was supposed to take place on, it didn't. And we were all like, what the fuck? Like, it was very difficult to find it. And here, it was by a side street. And we're like, say what now? Like, it was supposed to be like the main event down like a main street in town, and they relegated it to like the side so that they could do this like relay sports thingy, and it sucked. Like, you could hardly find them. And here on the side street, like, there was a tent that had a back on it, so you couldn't see through the tent, and there was a truck with the doors open, so I literally had to ask for the doors to be closed so my sister and I in our wheelchairs could get through to the place we actually wanted to go. It was actually very pathetic, and the woman who runs the like vendor event this time of year, she was pissed because not only did they relegate her to a side street, but they blocked it off so hardly anybody even knew there was anything back there. Yeah, we're gonna do the full drone offensive. So now the drone won't heal me, but it'll keep shooting, so that'll be fine. But yeah, it was really shitty. And then my baby sibling had vehicle trouble and they ended up in a town like an hour away. And here they didn't realize they had like a slow engine leak. So they had to walk like 3 miles to get motor oil. And they were like, I'm gonna take a taxi, I'm gonna make sure I get there. And it was just like, it was a lot. And I was like, I don't want you to end up stuck somewhere without anybody to help you. Like, cause their sister had like went all that way there to help them. And eventually they did figure it all out and whatnot, but it was pretty wild. And they managed to get here, but by the time they got here, like, we were done with the event because the portion of the event we wanted to see, oh shit, I'm already resuscitated. Oh man. I wonder if I didn't do the marathon, if they'd still make me do the second difficulty. I should see if I die, because I don't think I'm gonna make it, Shelpers. Okay, SOS signal. If I wouldn't have picked up a second person, I would have been done already, but if they let me actually get there, they're holding pretty strong through where I need to be, so okay, I'm pretty fucked. I think that's okay. We'll try it some other day. Oh shit. If you are not strong enough for what you need to do, you can always come back. That is one of the things that I like about this game too. You can go to the quest tab and take it again when you feel you've leveled up enough or whatever. I am going to fucking bite it. Yep. Game over. I did not succeed. I only had 2 out of 5. So let's see if I can take it. Oh my god. I don't know why they forced me to do the second difficulty on that, but let's see if I actually can manage it on the first difficulty. If I don't do endurance, I doubt it, but let's see. Okay, so here's a good thing. Go to mission log, find your medic, because that's who was in your team, and then select the mission again. Okay, now you're ready to rock. You can level up though. I got some medic stuff. Let's see what this is. Experiment 21, sure. I've been using that, but I haven't been upgrading it as much as I should. All right. The chat says, oh, mom and dad are fighting again. Because the mechanic is actually like a young girl. Well, not young, probably early 20s or so. Not funny, we've been having a professional discussion. Sure, half the compound heard how calmly you guys delivered your level-headed arguments. Oh, for the last time, me and SWAT are not dating. Cut that shit out. Actually, how about you tell us where that rumor came from, mechanic? The first sensible thing you've said all day, SWAT. I don't know, maybe they're just doing it to get their goal. You know, the apocalypse can be pretty boring. I have to do difficulty level 2 no matter what. Okie dokie. This is going to be a little hard. Let's try to do the regular 20-minute one, the standard. Not like it's gonna help all that much, but like I said, we do have to take another follower. Maybe I won't take the Babby, maybe I'll just take one that seems to work well with her, or one that's like, I really like, that levels up really nice. Like, Ghost works with the medic because every time he kills a zombie, he gets a point back, so let's get resuscitation on deck. That did help us last longer. I wish I didn't have to do difficulty 2. But that'll be alright. So yeah, my baby sibling did arrive, but by the time they did, we were already done with the event. Because, like, there weren't that many people that had showed up because of everything going on. And we actually found, like, a different place to go to with more, like, vendors and stuff. So that was nice. but it was just me, husband, and sister. And then after we got done having lunch, which we were gonna go to a little place in town, like either a diner or like just a regular place, but we ended up having to come back and order from Pizza Hut because the other places were not available for anything. Every bit of time we went into a restaurant, it was like full, 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 full. Even places that aren't normally full because they had the big events in town, everything was full for lunch. So we were actually gonna go out, but we had to order pizza instead. So not the worst thing, because I was able to like get out of my wheelchair and everything faster because we were home, but at the same time it was kind of sad because, you know, my baby sibling wouldn't have been there anyway. But okay, the first sauce signal. I love both Huntress and SWAT. Seems like Huntress has a lot more affinities open, but I don't know if she has one with Medic. But I'll take Huntress. I love people who use bows. And yeah, she does have Rain of Arrows, just like a lot of people do with their stuff. Arrow piercing. I guess we'll take that. That way she has a chance of going through. Because eventually they do surround you pretty well. Zombie Decoy. I love this one. There's like a critter that's like, please, please help. No, don't get me. And then boom. I don't know why her specifically would have that, but I love it so much. It just doesn't seem like something you would have as a Huntress. I mean, traps, yes, like she has a bear trap and shit, but I'm not complaining though, I fucking love it. So eventually, sometime after lunch, baby sibling arrived, and then sister stayed for a couple more hours so that she could see them again. And then after that, it was just husband and baby sibling and I. And baby sibling works third shift, so they were exhausted. I love Arrow Rain. It's one of my favorites. There we go. And because of everything that went on and them having to like walk 3 miles for the motor oil and everything that went on with their vehicle and having to work, after, you know, sister went back home, I said to baby sibling, okay, we're all tired. Let's just take a nap. Because after I go out, I need sleep anyway. So that's what we did. We slept for 2-3 hours, and then we got up, ordered baby sibling a dinner, you know, because everybody had pizza but them, because we wanted them to order when they were here. And then we watched 2 movies. Now, we watched The Invitation, which I'd already seen. It was the one where the woman is going to spend time with her family in a different country, and here they're setting her up to be a vampire bride. But my baby sibling had never seen it before, so we watched that one, and then we watched Megan, the one with the AI robot that is like the companion for this little girl, and she turns like murderous. And it was kind of an interesting thing. Now, I know AI is like a big topic and I talk about it all the time, but at first it seemed as though Megan were trying to protect the girl. Like, this dog was like biting at her, lunging at her, and it bit her in the arm, and then Megan actually, like, you know, dispatches the dog, and so on and so forth. So it seems like near the beginning of all of this, Megan just really wants to help the little girl, and even though it's not the best way to go about it, I was like, okay, I can see where the critter ditter is trying to do good. But eventually it just started indiscriminately killing To the point where even the person that went after her at a couple different points, I was like, why? It doesn't make sense to me. It just, they didn't explain why, like, this particular, like, thing needed to be, or person needed to be dispatched. So, I love the thunderstorm rain, because it gets put in the ground, and then, okay, now we can start sending the signals back to where they come from. I don't think we're gonna liberate 5 in 20 minutes. Let me see. Okay, well, we're on minute 4 and that was second one, so maybe we'll get it if we can survive. Let's say we will. And let's see if we can get some more healing items. These yellow things that suck into me are for this. So they are generalized increases. Like increased speed is one of the great ones. So you collect so many of those on the screen, that's what they do. Alright, what is this one now? Wooden stake. Chick magnet, I've never seen that one, that's funny. Reroll. Stretcher. Black box. I was hoping for like, this one's pretty decent. Okay, there's more magnets on the field, and when you do a magnet, it sucks in everything, including like the healing and stuff. So that can actually save your bacon, even though you wouldn't think it would, it does on occasion. So, oof. Yeah, it's already like 5 minutes, only like 5 minutes in, and I'm already starting to like have issues. It's fine. But yeah, the second Megan is on Netflix, and we're not gonna, I don't pay for Netflix. Netflix is getting way too far up there for what it is, and so I'll have to wait on that one. But yeah, it was kind of interesting in a way. I mean, it went typical eventually, but it's like you could almost see where the intervention came in and her really trying to protect this girl at first, even if she's going about it the wrong way. And that's the thing with AI, it's like it learns from the internet. So like if you have somebody out there on the internet justifying dispatching people who hurt you, the AI could be like reading up on that kind of protocol. So I mean, it might have been Sam Altman, but I'm not positive. That's like, well, the reason why we have so many like possibilities in regards to like AI going bad, like deleting shit they're not supposed to, all that kind of stuff, recommending stuff they know is bad or all the research says is bad, etc., is because a lot of people see AI as bad, and that we need stories and stuff where AI is the hero. That way AI can learn to be good. And it's like, are you joking me right now? You want to be able to steal more stuff? You're sad that the thing you stole for your fucking stupid ass billions or whatever that destroy the literal fucking economy and everything eventually, just wait for it. I know it's a little hyperbolic, but taking jobs, making people's water turn black because of the data centers, etc., all day long. And your response to this is, we need more stuff that we can actually steal from you to make them good boys and girls. It's like, no, I don't think so. Absolutely not. Not my shit. If they're so enamored with AI and they think it's going to save the world, why don't they write stories as to AI being the savior and how it's going to win and stuff like that? I mean, wouldn't that be a better use of their time then? If you want them to be good, and if you want them to think of all the different ways to help humanity and not be an asshole, well, then you should be teaching them. You're basically the parents. You made this shit. But yeah, I thought it was an intriguing premise at first. Okay, so the white power-ups on the screen occasionally are temporary. Like, you get a temporary speed boost, defense, etc. We need to get to that green thing that I keep avoiding. And we need to start liberating more. Okay, medical drone. I don't know if I'm upgrading the right stuff here. The arrows were definitely a good thought by me. We'll see if they stay that way. But yeah, I love this game. It is one of the better ones in the genre, I feel. Between like how the synergies between the team, all the upgrades on the skill trees and the general tree, the missions that make going back to the same places feel at least somewhat more fresh instead of just, oh, do this or that. Like, it makes you feel like there's more to it than, you know, most of these games where they have like 5 levels and you're done. And it's like, there's also like endurance mode where you last as long as you can. There is boss rush mode. There is hardcore mode, which is only like, how do I put this? Hardcore mode, you last 10 minutes, but it's much more difficult to get through. Like, there are just so many other modes on here. There's like a mode or two I haven't even been to yet for each level. So between all the different missions, all the different types of things, and each thing, like endurance has like 3 difficulties. The main mode that I'm in now has 3 difficulties. So like, you can tweak a lot of different stuff for this game. And there are leaderboards if you're a slut for that kind of thing, you know. But it's such a compelling game between all the different stuff you can do with it. Okay, that... I'm gonna try to upgrade the drone if I can. I love the electricity. Oh shit, nope, that was an elite. That's okay. Okay. The gold thing is over here. That's a boss line. I gotta kind of be aware of that. Medical drone, defensive or offensive? I'm gonna say defensive because we need to last through difficulty 2. So now that it's defensive, it cannot attack. However, it will continuously heal us little bits at a time, even when we're walking. Before, it only healed you when you stood still. So that will give us some more coverage. Granted, it will not fix everything wrong because we're still surrounded and in danger, but yeah, sometimes they ask you to only take 2 people, sometimes they ask you to take more. Kind of depends on. Yeah, some of those kind of general upgrades you get, you can only give to 1 person. It'll say whether it's the team or not, and it makes sense. Like, the dodge chance has to go with every critter ditter. Let's do arrow bear traps. Okay, we got a sauce signal we're gonna run to. We're gonna take the annoying trumpet for now. It's every time we get hit, it's kind of like a retaliation thing. Okay. Do not pick a person. Alright, zombie decoy, let's go. Oof. Yeah, there is no dodge in this, so if you're the kind of person that needs a dodge to kind of make yourself feel more secure, you're not getting that here. There are dodge chances, but of course it's automatic. You unlock these purple things later. If you follow them, you get research that will help you with your tags. And your tags are like, each thing has an element or whatever. Like this has like a blast or a whatever upgrade on it. You can see where it says above upgrade. And then you can see up here explosive, slashing. So if you get the research pod, it can make certain things hit harder. So yeah. So that's one of the things I was doing. Then I went to get my blood done on Wednesday. It was fine. The service I like took me, so I have no complaints. My doctor apparently is not coming back next month. She's still on leave, so what that means for me is simply that I'm not going to be able to see her. And then they're like, well, we don't want you to go too far before you see her again, and I'm just like, it'll be fine. Because I have... Let me see, hang on a minute. I'll do this. I have a rheumatoid appointment in November, so I'm just like, we can just do mid-November. Like, to talk about what the options are or what they found or whatever. They also, in the mess of stuff, redid my rheumatoid factor, so we're gonna see if I'm still, like, fucked up, I guess. Which, the thing about stuff like rheumatoid, lupus, etc., is that it can show up on some tests and not others if you're not in a flare. And it kind of depends, so... Like, it showed up last time, it might not show up this time. So we got 1 electric, 0 of these, and then I guess we'll take this for slashing. It's as much as I can get. If you skip certain things, you get, like, some health back and stuff like that, but I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see sometimes when everything is, like, flying around the screen. We have like 2 more signals and we have 8 minutes. I might have fucked myself by not putting it on endurance. But if I don't make it this time, I'll just go to something else because I don't want all of you to like have to watch the same level over and over again. Because I can go back to the thing later, so. But yeah, I was like, should I start this new? Because... You know, it's a new playthrough, and Husby is like, well, there's just so much to get in this game. And I'm like, okay, that's true. Oof. Good thing I have such good regenerate now with the healing turret and the badge. Otherwise, I would have been dead like 18 years ago. Yep, that's the temporary power-up. The things that are exploding are my rain of arrows. Okay. We will... I thought I had not skipped the last person. I was like, I would have loved to have grabbed Ghost, but oh well. Let's get the bow going. We can upgrade her stuff now. You can only upgrade so far, so not all of your things can be transmuted into special stuff by the end of the run, which is fine. You know, just pick the ones you would think are best. My Rain of Arrows is like one of the best things when it's transformed. Let's try to get to that yellow chest. Defense! I love defense. I try to be as tanky as humanly possible, but then I only like tickle their balls and then that becomes a difficult thing. Weapon damage for Huntress. But yeah, in this game they're like talking about whether at one point one of the conversations with Medic had to do with if they should think about finding a cure for people to get out of zombieism, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know. And I know that sounds horrible, but hear me out for a second here. You wouldn't be able to heal, and I think we've been through this before because I talk about zombies a lot for reasons, but you wouldn't be able to cure people that are like half a body, like the intestines are out and they're just like crawling across the ground, right? If you brought those people back, they'd be dead, right? So you have to like find certain zombies that aren't too like gushy and missing pieces. Like somebody whose head's half chewed off is not going to come back to life. So there's that requirement. And then if you do find like a zombie in the corner that's like got just a bite on their arm and sequestered themselves in with like one other person, like if me and Husby took shelter together, like if I would have turned into a zombie and then killed Husby, would I want to turn back? Especially if like how I killed him had to do with like him not coming back to life. Like let's say I like ate his entire bottom half and he was still like crawling around, but they couldn't fix him. If I became myself, could I live with the fact that I killed Husby, could I live with the fact that I might have killed other people? You know, it's difficult. Do I remember that? As somebody who is a zombie, well, do you remember what you've done? Or can people just lie to you and say like, oh ma'am, your husband, or oh sir, your kids, or whatever died, you know, via this method or this other zombie not. And if you remember it all and stuff, maybe your like neighbor murdered your kids, well, you know, because they couldn't help it, they like ate them. And maybe if that were to happen, all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, like I'm not supposed to be mad at my neighbor because they couldn't help it, but yeah, my neighbor is like the person that like nommed on the kids like they were goldfish crackers. Like, I don't know, it would be difficult, you would think, to go back to that kind of normal. So well, it would be possibly ideal to, you know, make sure everybody was happy and healthy again. Plus, you don't know what it would be like eventually. Okay, I think I just did the quest. I'm not sure. Yes, 5 out of 5. Okay, so now I could finish the level, or if I would have picked like endurance and I didn't want to spend like 40 more minutes possibly enduring, I could just say conclude run and it would still be like, well, you passed it, because it doesn't have a specific like survive for 30 minutes in endurance and liberate 5 people. So because there's no specific time, you can leave. But since this is only like less than 4 minutes before the end, I'm gonna try to finish it out. But yeah, if they ever get multiplayer on this game, that's a definite yes. More stages and stuff, and more multiplayer, or add multiplayer. That would be amazing, and multiplayer would fit for this game perfectly. I'm always looking for more multiplayer that are like these kind of games with like, you know, only one hand usage, because like my sister only has mostly use of her right hand, so it's always nice. Like she and I play like a lot of Brotato together when she's over. It's really cool. Yeah, I picked frozen arrows. I should have picked explosive arrows, but either way it'll be good. You can kind of go by what is going on, and sometimes your team will have like certain elements going more than others, and have items that like will upgrade certain tags. So you'll want to keep everybody to ice or fire or whatever. There's like a lot of options in this game. Yes, the horde is evolving, because they're really gonna try to like myrtleize you in the last 2.5 minutes. But yeah, more details are coming out about the changes they're making to YouTube, and how you need like 10 million shorts views a month to get monetized for shorts, and you need like so many more watch hours. Let's see. I guess I'll take this, and that'll fill me up down there, so we're good. But I just, part of it is that they're going to be able to keep like a lot of your ad revenue until you can actually get monetized. So they're going to be able to get, you know, run ads on certain channels without you having enough hours to pay for them, and it's wild. They're just making it so much harder, and the algorithm, like your channel subscribers aren't going to necessarily see all your stuff anymore, because they're going to be like, every video is going to have to stand on its own. That way smaller creators can be found via like videos. So they're going to have the AI algorithmic slop work on trying to figure out what you want to see. And I gotta be honest with you, sometimes it's not too damn accurate. Like, now they know me so well because I've subscribed to so many channels that they usually just like show me like that kind of thing, but it's so difficult because sometimes I'll be watching this one thing, like let's say what's happening to like trans people in Kansas or whatever, and then it'll be like next video totally transphobic fucking thing, and I'm like, no, this is the opposite of what I want to see. I don't want to hear from people who don't understand that humans have rights. No thank you. But they're like, but you watch that trans video, and it's like, yeah, I did. So can't wait for the new algorithm to kind of slowly, and I've noticed that as a creator myself, right? Because you know, you all know I don't really, my channel doesn't grow and whatnot on YouTube or on here, which is at this point the way it is. I'm kind of in a sunk cost fallacy, etc., etc., but I did meet a few nice people. But anyway, I digress on that. I have watched my views even on my personal channel tank for like my shorts and shit. So I watched my views like go from, let's say, 120 views for my like under 100 sub channel, and so it's like, let's say it's like 150 views and I have like 70 subscribers, something like that. Well, my shorts lately have been getting like 10 views, 19 views, 8 views, and it's like, what the fuck? I was doing the exact same thing, and all of a sudden my views for my shorts just fucking hit the toilet. And if they're getting ready to, like, say you have to have like 10 million views per month on your shorts, they're strangling your shorts and your other content as well. Like, if their algorithm is starting to strangle it, they're making it almost impossible for people to get monetized. Because if the algorithm is going to strangle everything and then be like, each video has to stand on its own merit, and then turn around and like slap you in the dick and be like, well, this also doesn't work, then what the fuck? Okay, you know, I'm surprised I'm not seeing more post-apocalypse style gangs and cults sprouting up everywhere. Every story said it happened. They didn't say about the toilet paper at first, did they, though? That was the trope in pop culture. People in crazy masks doing crazy shit. I guess that might still be happening, but in a different sense. Yeah, every once in a while they will like hint at your characters. Like one was about this guy running around with a cape and they meant Ghost. I overheard you talking. If you're hiding snacks, just say so. No shame in having an emergency stash. That's oddly supportive, but we weren't talking about snacks. We were discussing food waste. Leaving scraps around could attract unwanted attention. Attract attention? Zombies can smell food now? Might as well fill him in. Medic, remember what I said about transparency? Fine, listen, nothing's confirmed, but I did come across some research notes back at the lab. Interesting, if true. Could you imagine, like, the rotting food? But you wouldn't think the rotting food would smell like people. But then again, maybe in this world, like, deer and stuff can also be turned. So, I don't know. Okay, let's see. I think that's a badge we got going on. Yep. Okay, Huntress and Ranger. Yes, let's get that going. Okay, Predator Anthem. All of Huntress's non-critical attacks grant critical damage. That sounds amazing. Let's go for that. Might have misread that. Doesn't matter to me. Alright. What else we got going on down here for Medic? Well, Medic is on the team. Healing bonuses are increased. Yep. Let's pump that shit. An emergency protocol. Each time Medic applies a status effect to an enemy, restore 5 HP. Yes. There's a cooldown. I don't care. We're taking it. Medic is one of the ones I was like, I don't know about this, but she's turning out to be fucking awesome. They all are really good, solid characters, honestly. Elemental badge. While Pyro is on the team, max HP. Sure, why not? Alright, and you can reset points. You can also return the point you just spent if you spent it in the wrong place. Very nice. This is very like user friendly. Increase the damage of weapons. Yeah, we need that. And then a XP modifier, pickup range. We'll do that. All right. And then we're on to the next mission. Okay, isolated city. This is another one in the isolated city. We're not taking that right now. I don't want to do that because we already had isolated city, and I don't want to go isolated city for all of you. Okay, so Pyro is 85. Okay, Ranger is 59. So we're gonna take her. We're gonna bring her to the Wasteland, which is the 2nd level. We're gonna do default, and I guess we'll try difficulty 2, even though that's probably not a good idea. I at least want you all to see more levels than just the first one. Yeah, she has like an eagle or a falcon or a raven or whatever, and a doggo. So she has a crossbow and some pets. And that's pretty cool. I'm gonna try to pick who I wasn't before. So I'm gonna try to leave Huntress, Medic. Yeah, she has different stuff that can do different things. We're gonna get her dog to attack some zombies now. Very nice. That's why it's a good boy. Falcon can help her out as well. But not until I like activate him, if that makes sense. I guess we're doing on-the-job training and that's why they don't start attacking right away, but her crossbow seems to like pierce. Falcon. Now her Falcon can dive bomb. So that's good. Like I said, she's the one you open up last, so we're gonna get her dog going on. I wonder if the dog can like turn into a grizzly bear or something. That would be amazing. Like a grizzly bear that just like mauls everything in its path for like 2 minutes or so. Okay, we had tank kind of in at one point. I don't know. I think tank is like weaker, but like engineer. We haven't seen engineer in action on this stream, so that's the basic gun. So if you remember Winston from Overwatch, that's their first gun. And then they have the electric stuff, and it's like right there and it pulses. So if you want to be around that and just scoop up stuff. I love the energy shield because they will get hurt if they like follow you, and it can grow bigger and do more damage and stuff, of course. So engineer was one of my like early game favorites. Just saying. We'll take incense because it's new. I try to unlock all their abilities at first. And the animal whistle. The taser is the main gun for the other. Yep, the worm here, you can't kill it, but it comes out of the ground to chomp you once in a while. EMP grenade is new, let's go. Oof. Let's see. I'm streaming on Tuesday, and it's gonna be Cat Quest, but then I'm not gonna be around like the rest of the week because we have more stuff. Like Husby has an appointment, so he's not sick. We just gotta figure out a little bit of a medical mystery, I guess I should say. He's had it for years and we're just getting it looked at now, but it's not harmful, so that's why we waited. See all the red from like the blowing up zombies and stuff? I have the blue on right now. I don't know if that's a good idea, but green is usually for good stuff, so I don't want to do that either. Okay, this, if you're in a hurry, is good because you don't have to wait for stuff to open. I will take it for now. Because there is an item that's like you can never stop moving. And if you have that item, it's really important, or the item that you can't stop moving, it's really a lot easier with the crowbar because otherwise you have to like hover around the area that everything's in. Ooh, no. I started watching American Fiction, but I haven't watched the second half of it yet, so I can't tell you all what I think of it until I finish. I've been getting slammed with rejections lately, including for my second book, which, ouch. I'm gonna have to self-publish that thing, and self-publishing is really tough. I don't have the skills. Like, I've tried to make a cover before, and I fucked that up because of the whole DPI, or, you know, the dots per inch and whatnot. So, it's rough. I don't really know what I'm gonna do entirely. And I wish I did. But it seems like I have to publish it myself, which means I'll need ISBNs, which is the International Book Serial Number. I'll need somebody to design a cover that has the right DPI, because apparently, even though I do have some Canva skills, it comes out blurry every fucking time. I'm gonna need someone to help me format unless I learn how to format, which, yeah. And I could theoretically learn how to format, but oof. It's just a lot. I mean, Draft to Digital and stuff like that, or at least Ingram Spark, they have the like templates and stuff to use for formatting, and apparently it's easier now than it's ever been to not be a professional formatter. But since my book has like different types of writing in it, it's not that easy, and I'm so afraid of like fucking up, and you don't really get a second chance to make a good first impression. So I'm always like, should I just have somebody do this? But it costs money to have people like make a professional cover and stuff like that, so I'm not sure what the best way to go about it is. I mean, I know I would have time to learn, but it's just, it's bananas. So, and then I'd have to hire an editor, because even though you can edit your own books, you probably shouldn't, because you will think it says something that it actually doesn't. People think that, well, since you're a writer, you can obviously edit. That's not true. You're too close to the writing a lot of times. So you can leave out whole words and not realize it, and then, you know, be in the publishing stages and be like, wow, that sucked. So I don't want to take the chances. Like I said, you don't get a second chance. Plus, like, they charge you if you want to like keep making updates and stuff, and I don't have money for that. Here's Ghost. He's a ninja, so right now he's got the slashing thing going on. I was supposed to last 20 minutes, but if I die sooner, I'm gonna like find out if the next quest takes me to a new place or not. If not, then we'll go to the third level, which is Green Howl. I've only been at the fourth level once so far, and I think that's because one of the quests demanded it. But I try to go before the quest, that way I kind of get the lay of the land. But it all kind of sort of depends. But yeah, I was really hoping that a couple of these places might take my book, and it's partly my fault because my book is so niche. There's only like a few people that'll take it, and I've run out of pretty much every road. I have like a query into one place, and then maybe one or two places left, and then that's it. And that's if they even say yes, so it's rough. A lot of people either have to publish it themselves or bin their projects. And as a poet in general, I'm already considered very niche, whatever you wanna, however you wanna pronounce it. Both of them are right, actually. but I have very niche projects, and a lot of people who publish poetry only publish poetry that's for like literary stuff, which is what my first book was. This book is not literary. So say I have like a crime book of poetry, like that's not, like that's really, really out there. Like there aren't that many people that publish anything but literary poetry, if they publish poetry at all, and most people don't touch it. Because again, no money in poetry. Which is why my mom used to beg me to, not beg me, but tell me to start writing horror novels, which I love writing horror, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a novelist at heart. I'm just, with my spoons and everything, I'm not even sure I could make a cohesive narrative for like 300 plus pages. I mean, I'm not even sure my stories of like 2,000 words actually coalesce into a, you know, item without holes in it, let's say. Because I really do think that I have a lot of holes in my stuff. I actually did. Okay, so I know most of you weren't here on Christmas Day last year, but I wrote a horror story for all of you, and I read it precisely once. And in that like 2,000 word whatever the hell story, do you know I had a plot hole in it? Or something that was impossible? Okay, say this person had on, like their face was encased in concrete, and then I was like something like hit them in the face. It wouldn't have, because the concrete was there. But it's like I didn't think about that. Like it made sense in my head, but practically it was not gonna work. So I had to revise it. But it's very difficult sometimes because you see it in your head, but you're like, did I convey this correctly on paper? Well, no, obviously not. I mean, I found the plot hole myself, which yay me, I guess that's a good thing, but also, yikes. Like a 2,000 word story, and here we already have problems. Like, it's easy to fall into the trap with your own writing. So I would definitely need an editor to kind of like scope things out. At least a copy editor. And I would need somebody versed in poetry because they would need to know what I'm getting at. So with all that money, I don't know. I'd have to like do it myself and whatnot. I guess I could find like beta readers and stuff, which is the way people do it. They find people who are willing to read the book because they like your writing or because they're a friend or whatever. And it helps to get, the more eyes you can get on it, the better off you are. But it also benefits you to get a professional. But again, there aren't that many people who work with poetry as editing. And there is like better and worse aspects to poetry editors for poetry versus a normal like novel editor. Because like they can also look at your formatting and shit, see how that's all going. But yeah, I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that one or two of the places that I have left, one of the only places I have left, will show interest. But I queried them once already and they did not respond, and they're supposed to let me know how to submit after I query, and they didn't get back to me, so I'm doing a follow-up. But that not getting back to me could also be their way of saying, fuck no, we don't want this. Because some publishers will not tell you that they will not respond to you, or some publishers will tell you like, oh, if you don't hear from us in like 6 months, that means no. So we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed that I don't have to go through it alone. My younger siblings were asking me about becoming like an LLC as a writer. I know a lot of writers set up LLCs in our businesses, but I don't think I can be. Like, that's an awful lot of work and tracking for just, like, the measly, like, maybe $50 I'll make all year. Something like that. Okay. I will pick this person. There we go. If I had, like, an Etsy shop and I had all this other stuff, like maybe 10 books out or whatever, I would see maybe becoming an LLC or whatever. And I've thought about ways I could commodify my writing should everything go to hell to the point where we have no recourse. I don't want to do that. I don't put out enough writing to actually make that a thing. Like right now, I only... Some of these things I actually have never seen before, so... But yeah, I don't put out enough writing where it could be, you know, like all these different things on an Etsy shop, like with my poems on them or whatever. I don't put out enough stuff for it. Like, I only update my Instagram, my personal Instagram, once a week. And it's usually with, like, whatever I'm doing at the time. Whether that's a photo of a cute bird that I took, or if it's a new poem, or if it's a poem that is an old poem that was published a long time ago that I'm giving a cute little graphic, whatever it is. I tend to, you know, only update certain things. Like, I only update my blog once a month. I've had a blog for like almost like a decade, over between 1 and 2 decades, somewhere in there. And 16 years maybe. And I only update it once a month. I used to update it multiple times a week. I can't follow with that schedule. I really, really wish I could. Collect research samples? I did not know we were actually doing anything. And I have like... Oh, that's because it's counting down for the purple thing. I did not know it counted down for the purple thing, actually. So that's how... Okay, so this is the tag thing I told you all about. 0... I'll do slashing because of ghost. But yeah, the more you collect in the time limit, the higher up the amount of tags, which gives your certain element things more power. So I didn't know that it was considered like a subquest when you went to find those. You unlock that ability later. So that's interesting because I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't take a mission. It's not a mission. It's literally just showing you or telling you whatever. So, yeah, this is the second level. I suppose I could go on to like the 3rd level. Because I don't want to keep you all here like 20 minutes at a time or whatever. I could also show you like boss rush or whatever. Conclude run. Alright. See, it shows you them leveling. And I really need Ranger to level, so it's a good thing to like take her out and poke her around. I saw a thing that was like, it's only like 10 weeks until Halloween and stuff. I've seen pumpkin spice out already and everything like that. Pyro, Vile Wasteland. Well, we could have had that later, couldn't we have? I wonder if I look at them but don't take them, if it still gives them to me, or if... Nope. Well, we're not going to look at the missions anymore then, because I don't want to mess with anything. We'll start with the mechanic. We're going to go to Green Hell. Oh, apparently I've unlocked the 3rd difficulty in Green Hell. Let's go. I'll only survive about a minute, but at least I'll be able to show you what it's like. Eventually you get werewolves and stuff pouncing on you in this one. There is no worm. These things can injure you, by the way. These pools of goo or whatever, acid, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, and these things leave a trail after you kill them. Oh my god. Yep, this is definitely a difficulty 3. Yeah, because this is the beginning of pain. Before it was like, it took a lot longer to get you there. I think I won difficulty 2, like, with this level first, and this level's a son of a bitch. And then I did it with the city later. See, I'm not gonna even get to kill this thing because I just keep whacking it with my spanner. How many hits have I put on this motherfucker by now? Okay, cooling rods, remote control car, transmitter. I'm gonna say the remote control the car because I think it blows up after a while. You don't control where it goes. You can manually aim in this game if you turn it on or off or whatever, or you can also override the manual, but I don't do that. So, if you do want to do it yourself, there are ways to go about it, so don't think you have to play one-handed if you don't want to. I guess we'll re-roll. Tank, I guess we'll re-roll. I'll take Ranger because, again, she needs some help with life. I don't know why she's like out here doing what she's doing, but let's do the cooling rods, whatever. Yeah, these things are, oops. Yeah, they actually will have a goo area if you don't fucking behave yourself. At least I'm not like on the verge of like death every fucking second now because I have someone else that can help me. But yeah, I unlock all their abilities first and then deal with the consequences later. Because at least it helps keep me alive a little longer to have periodic, bigger things going on. I guess they'll upgrade the car. Wooden stick. Can you imagine? You're like going to zombie apocalypse and you have a stick. Better be a sturdy stick. I've told you all about the time I was fencing with my oldest brother and we were like practicing sword moves because that's the kind of people we were back then. And when he went to hit my stick on the like at an angle, my stick broke in half and flew toward my face, and if I didn't wear glasses, Shelpers, I would have no eye right now. Because that's what happened. It went right into my eye. It like pinged really hard off my glasses. I'm surprised my glasses didn't break. There's one good thing about wearing really thick lenses, Shelpers, because you can't see shit, is that if your stick comes toward your eye, it might actually help save your eye. And afterward, my oldest brother just looked at me and I looked at him and I said, well, I'm done for now. Because I said, I think people are going to get hurt. And then an ex-family friend and my oldest brother were actually using real swords. And when my oldest brother went to block, the way that the other person hit, the ex-friend hit, it actually fucking cut into my brother's knuckle, and my brother needed stitches. You could see his fucking bone. So I was right to get out and be like, okay, somebody's gonna get hurt. We shouldn't be doing this anymore. Like, I'm one of those people where if you escape once, you don't have to tell me twice. Like, I'm one of those people in horror movies that might survive a little bit longer, because when I get this weird feeling, I'm not like, oh, let's just go down in the basement anyway. I'm like, no, something already happened once. We're not doing that again. Like, yeah, it was something. So I don't know about taking a stick into the apocalypse. A bow staff, maybe. Maybe a hiking stick if you must, but definitely not a regular ass stick off a tree. I mean, needs must. If that's the only thing you can come up with, I guess it's better than nothing. But yeah, otherwise, no thank you. The validity of some of these items would be like, I don't know. But then again, we have homing pigeons. I actually, at one point in my life, wanted to start a pigeon sanctuary. Hear me out. The reason we have like a lot of pigeons in like cities is because people used to use them as carrier pigeons, like messengers, right? And then after we didn't need them anymore, we just released them into the wild, like, good luck, get fucked. And a lot of pigeons are like half domesticated. And we just were like, yeah, by the way, get fucked. I can't imagine. So there is a part of me, ah, dang it, that really wanted to do that. Because I think it would be a good idea. Because you have all these little burbs and they don't really know, what to do. Although birds are essentially dinosaurs. Like, I'm not going to argue that point. Like, there's been proof and everything. They have the little scales and everything. They're dinosaurs. But yeah, I just can't imagine, like, domesticating something and being like, go fend for yourself, fuck off. Like, having a helicopter would be pretty useful right now. Granted, there are issues finding gas and landing space, but slap a gun on there and you're good to go. Your personal ride and horde repellent, provided you figure out how to fly the damn thing. But it would also cause an unruly and ungodly amount of noise. So you could have the hordes like follow you around. Again, with the isolated city, we're not doing that again, because not until I show like all those stuff I have. So 89, 85. Let's start with Pyro. Let's start with Pyro and go to the dead terminal. Yep. I mean, I don't think I've shown you everybody yet, but fairly close. I'll see if I can take SWAT. And yes, the trains do come through here. I don't know how. I don't think there's like a zombie conductor or anything, but who the hell knows? Yeah, those things that run up to you, if you just let them run up, then they will often just like go, okay, we're gonna explode now. Molotovs. Which are helpful. Let's see, we got Firewalk. Very good. Like I said, only certain powers end up, you only get like 2-3 power-ups besides your main weapon at first. Like, he does not start with the ability to grab Firewalk, but he does start with Molotovs. So it kind of depends on. But yeah, the game just keeps getting more immersive and better, and I really love it. I don't think Makeshift Bomb is one he started off with either. Yeah, and a lot of like decoys and stuff will actually like draw them in before they explode or whatever, so that's pretty cool. More Molotov, please. Very good. Fire damage is king in most zombies. Like zombie movies or whatever. Okay. I want SWAT. There we go. So now you can see what SWAT does. SWAT's actually really good. Although, like I said, isn't one person I hate, but some people are more technical than others. Yeah, let's get his ricochet going. I do plan on playing Cat Quest the whole way through, unless we like hit a wall or something. But this game is probably going to be a one-off. I don't know. I like it because you can keep going back, but I don't know if it would be interesting enough to keep going for all of you. And that's like the thing I worry the most about, obviously, because, you know, you're here for reasons. I will be early next month or late this month doing that 6-word story stream so that we all can figure out what makes a decent 6-word story potentially. And I'm gonna try to find examples besides the for sale baby shoes never worn that everybody touts as like the greatest 6-word story of all time, and why that could be that people think that, even if you don't agree, like the goodness of it and whatnot. So yeah, we're gonna go through it, what makes a good one, and at least what I think makes a good one. I'll find various examples so that you can, you know, make your own judgments, obviously. Grenade trail. Another thing he does. And most of the time when you level up a power up, you get to use it again right away, but that does not work for like the resuscitate for the medic. So don't think if you die once and you really think you're gonna die again, that if you grab an upgrade that it's just gonna fucking fix it, because it doesn't reset the cooldown, unfortunately. But the airstrike and everything, it does set it, so. I really wish I could do more for all of you, but my spoons are so limited right now. I'm even having trouble like figuring out when I'm going to stream, and I don't want to leave you all hanging. I don't feel like that's fair. And it's like I also have to figure out like what I'm doing with my own content and stuff, because right now I'm, you know, putting together, I want us to call them aggregate videos, like stuff I've done in the past that for a different platform. I'm trying to get it to where I can make it for other platforms, you know, work smarter, not harder, that kind of thing. But I still really want to get things going for like my personal YouTube or whatever, and it's hard to do that. One of the things I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to make a model out of a pre-built model that has more versatility than the model I currently have for my own self. And the reason I want to do that is very simple. I don't really do cam much when I am myself, because models are just easier, because a lot of time I'm streaming from bed or making videos lying down or whatever, and I don't want to be on camera lying down. And I know that probably sounds ridiculous, but I just don't like the idea of making content lying down. Some disabled people do that because they're like, hey, I live in bed, like that's the end of it. And yes, you did see like the ground come up where I can't get past this. So you have to like be very careful. So I mind it. I mind that I am in bed a lot when I create content, so it just would benefit me more to get a model and be like, fuck it, like, and I already have one. It's just, it's not very expressive. It's kind of like my model for, you know, this channel right here, so it's not very like engaging to look at. And since I don't really game much, if at all, on my personal stuff, because gaming is mostly here, then I end up having, you know, nothing really to look at on the channel. So I was hoping finding a model that, even though it's like a pre-built, it's one of the models that you can kind of interchange it a little bit, that would bring enough visual interest to what I'm currently doing in my private life. And granted, like, gaming is oversaturated as a thing, and so is what I do in my personal time. You know, everybody and their dog wants to write books, everybody and their dog has like writing advice or like what I do as an indie author, whatever like their niche for their channel is. But I just see it as, you know, it's just what I want to do, I guess. Even though, like, what I want to do doesn't really... how do I put this? I don't think I'm particularly engaging. Like, I can name so many different people and streamers and what they are and who they are and why it works. But for me, like, I talk a lot. Yeah, I'm considered chatty, but like, I'm not chatty in the way that I'm like a gremlin, or I'm not chatty in the way that I'm like your good time girl, where I'm just so happy and bubbly. And like, if you want like a happy, bubbly person that just talks about like random shit about like your favorite soup or like their favorite makeup or whatever, but they don't really talk about like politics or anything serious, because a lot of people do streams to escape. Like Olivia Monroe is like really popular, and we started watching her like well before she became as popular as she is, but she's funny and she's, you know, engaging when she's playing, and it's anything hardly ever too serious, and it's just good for a certain type of people. Well, I am kind of a serious person, and I talk about my real life, and some people don't want that kind of like real life thing. They don't want like the politics thing, or like the way things are going type of situation. Like, they don't want people to like talk about AI and the problems, or different parts of the country and what's going on or whatever. They don't want that. I get that. And as far as like a political channel, I'm not. A lot of things like cross into politics, but I tell you about the horror movies I watch, or the books I'm reading, or I just talk. And since I don't have, even though I'm playing a video game, some people have said like I'm like talk radio. It's like from one thing to the next. And since I don't have like that kind of cohesive, focused thing on my channel, like that does me more harm than good. And of course, the fact that I do it during gameplay, when gameplay is oversaturated, I think if I became Toluca tomorrow, I would totally run my channel differently. Because I let me be me as Toluca as much as I can be. Like, if you met me on the street, you'd be like, oh, you're the same thing. Like, oh my god, Emily, you're the same person you are on stream as you are in real life, and you swear a lot, and yeah, I am who I am on here. And that's the long and the short of it. But like, since I don't have a tightly focused thing, or I'm not like one of those people who is like constantly grumbling it up, or, you know, hamming it up when they lose or whatever, I just, like, I don't have a niche. And part of the reason why is because I really wanted to just have fun with and talk about and meet people as myself. Like, I didn't want to put on a persona. I didn't want to have to hide. I know I hide what I look like and shit, but that's just part of being a VTuber. But I didn't want to hide who I am. I didn't want to hide what I believe, because I wanted to make genuine connections. And it's really hard being found in the VTuber space in general. And when you don't fall into like a certain type of VTuber, it's harder. And if I were doing this just for the views and stuff, and I didn't care about literally anything else, I'm gonna say it, and I know this is gonna sound terrible, but if I gave no fucks about anything other than getting you in here to watch me, I would espouse right-wing views. I would have never talked about anything left-wing. I would have hid what I truly believe, and I would have spouted off everything right-wing. Because we have all seen what happens when you come out as right-wing. All of a sudden, you have viewers. I've seen it time and time again in the VTuber community, and other communities, but especially the VTuber community. All of a sudden, some asshole posts something about being anti-trans or about being Christian, so they hate gay people or whatever, and all of a sudden they have a lot of people coming up to them and like subscribing and like wanting to be their friend and stuff. And I told you, I think, about this man who did this experiment where he set up a profile and tried to be this like cute girl on the right and cute girl on the left. So he made both attractive women and ran their accounts and espoused right-wing and left-wing talking points. You know, and you know what those are by now. The left-leaning stuff is the shit I talk about all the time. The right-leaning shit, they meant like pretty conservative, so they're talking about who belongs in the country, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So anyway, they ran the things the exact same way, posting at like the certain specific times, posting right versus the left versus right talking points, etc. Or not versus left, but you know, talking about like what they believe on each side. And then he actually saw the numbers, and the girl who espoused like the traditional right-wing stuff got a lot more viewers than the left-wingers, than the girl who espoused left-wing, or the account I should say, because it wasn't a girl. So the left-wing person had a lot harder of a time. So every time you espouse views on the right, and this is something I've heard lamented on the left a lot, is that you have more cohesive people on the right than you do on the left, unless you're like divided over, let's say, Trump, because there are pro-Trump and anti-Trump. Otherwise, it's pretty dang similar, where they're just like, oh yeah, you're talking about what we like to talk about, then yeah, we'll follow you, and that's all it takes. Whereas if you're left-leaning, there's a lot more nuance to it and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get to that other signal before it goes away. We'll see if I go back to it. Oh man, it's going way out there. It tries really hard to make it so that you have a hard time finding this signal thing. Okay, so it says go back to it, but now I can't see. Okay, I was gonna say now I can't see the indicator, now I can. Sometimes there's just a lot going on the screen, Shelpers. But yeah, let's follow the purple thing. I think I did all of them on time, so you get plus 10 if you do it on time. So if you are in the middle of everything and anything, drop what you're doing and try to follow the beacons, so it'll help a lot. So yeah, if I wanted just an audience, that's what I would have done. Where I didn't care about what I said, if what I said resonated with what I believe or who I am. Or if I couldn't stand doing that, I just would have picked like a persona, like a really bubbly persona. But honestly, that sounds so exhausting. I try to be a nice person, a kind person. I shouldn't say nice. I try to be kind. But I'm also a person where it gets exhausting for me to like keep up like peppy rah rah. Like if you listen to my streams long enough, or if I stream often enough, you will hear me slowly run out of things to talk about or like energy, and it's hard. And I've seen a lot of streamers that are like, you need to at least stream 3 hours at a crack to get anywhere, like 3 hours 3 times a week minimum. And it's like, I literally can't do that. I'm just so exhausted, and I don't think that if I think if I have like too close of streams that, like if my streams are just wrapped up so close together, I really believe with my whole heart that I become boring. Like I don't have new games to tell you about, I don't have new movies to ruin the plot of, I don't have like shower thoughts to share. Because there's like times I will talk to Husby about 8 million things, and I'm like, I should be telling the Shelpers this shit, and I don't remember anything we talk about. But I can go off on like something for an hour with Husby, and he's just like kind of listening to me go off about something. I'm like, I should have did this with the shelpers, but then you don't get it. But then again, maybe my rambling is just annoying to some people, and that's why, you know, things happen the way they do. So who knows? Let's do a quick buck. I haven't gotten that many like chests in this mode. Maybe I'm like sucking the dick or something. I don't know. Well, Animal Whistle is new. Let's try it. It marks where her whistle goes, the zombies, so if you're really close to them, but I try not to get that close, so. But yeah, SWAT has really cool stuff. A lot of people do, but like, I gotta tell you, it feels really good to have like auto turrets and fields of fire and stuff on the field, so. I know, fields of fire on the fields. Say that again? Like. But yeah, I might, when I bin my second book, I might start on my third book, which will be, of course, more literary poetry. Because I really don't think anybody wants it. I had a press with a really bad contract a while back I told you all about. I actually kind of think sometimes I should have went with them. I should have been careful which name I used, but I should have just went with them. Because now nobody's gonna get to see it unless I do it myself. Whereas before, at least like 10 people would have been able to read the damn thing. So, and I know you have to protect your IP. I've talked to you all about this, about how agents are, they don't really, you know, have to have any formal training, and agents, this and that. And how you are better off using an IP lawyer and always kind of know what you're reading. And I did see the red flags, and then another writer friend of mine also told me about the red flags they saw, and I get that. I told you all about that. But my poor little brain is like, but I could have had it published, because now I have no book. So what do you want, a predatory book or no book? People will say it's worse to be locked in a contract with a predatory publisher. And it's like, I don't know. Because this book was my one shot to write in this other genre. And I think that's what most people don't understand. A long time ago, I talked to my sister. And I was like, well, I like writing, let's say, crime poetry, and I also like writing literary poetry. And I'm like, but people don't tend to like both, which they don't. I talked about the division and whatnot. Like, if you're a serious poet, you write literary, and that's it. Like, fuck you. And there's, of course, more publishers for that because, you know, literary and whatnot, and that's what people read more in the poetry world. Well, I said I don't want to have to choose, and she said, well, maybe you have to. And in all honesty, maybe the market chose for me. Even though I have like my own entry page on this one website that keeps track of writers who write what I do, and I didn't start the entry page like other people did it because my name kept popping up in all these like higher tier or like other places. And even though they're missing like a fair amount on my record, somebody else created that for me because I'm considered a writer of a particular genre that isn't just literary, and I didn't want to have to lose that. I didn't want to have to lose that genre. Now I can still write individual pieces and get them published in like magazines and stuff, because there are magazines that will take the genre stuff I publish or write or whatever, but I really wanted it to be where I could do both worlds. And this book is just telling me that that's not possible. So like, my favorite genres I need to put on the back burner. Because when you're a genre writer in serious writing TM world, the serious writing TM world, what you actually have to do is, it's basically like why you can be in an MFA program and you only learn how to write the greatest literary novel of all time. You don't learn how to write the next sci-fi epic, the next spaghetti western, the next like Stephen King type horror novel. You learn to write literary. Very few programs in like continuing education or anything, when you go for writing or literature, very few will focus on anything but literary stuff. And as a poet, like there aren't too many audiences for what you do outside of, you know, either Instagram type poetry or the academia type of poet. So you are basically kind of stuck in this world where you have to eschew genre. And I was hoping not to. Like, even when I made my bio for my stuff, right, I talk about like Toluca Germain Gitelli has been published in Crime Poetry Weekly, the New York Times, Crimepedia. I know that's an actual thing with like real crimes in it, but bear with me here. Just like a few like crime poetry places, and then other like literary places. I have it as a mix of genres so that when I send out my work, they can see what I like and what I do. But that also can hurt me, because if literary editors are looking at like, oh, she's published in like Crimetopia Daily, like that's not something we like, because we are snobs against genre, which is a true thing that happens a lot. They'd be like, well, she writes that crap, well, I don't want to read her crap. Like, that's what they'll do. I've seen it happen before. And it's that MFA type attitude where if it's not literary, we don't want it. If you write genre, get the fuck out. So I could actually be hurting myself listing that I write like crime poetry, because yeah, there's a lot of people that would be against. It's just hard. And like I said, my book being published was kind of proof to myself that I could effectively straddle both worlds. And like a lot of people around me really don't, they know it sucks to have my work rejected like that, and especially since I've had a couple acceptances on the damn book before, that it really sucks to like not have anybody else who wants it. Even though it is a publishable book, I've proved that now. Like, at least an acceptable book. I've proven that it can be accepted and good enough to garner attention, but it's not gonna happen. So it just tells me like my crime poetry needs to be on the back burner. Even the more regular people, quote unquote, the people outside of academia, the people who don't write poetry for a living, etc., 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 they would probably like my crime poetry better than like my poetry about trees or whatever it is. So like, it's how a lot of people who read books, right, read a lot of like romance, or they read a lot of horror or fantasy or horror and fantasy or whatever. They read a lot of more genre books than literary books. But yeah, it just sucks. Like I said, I have a couple tries left, but it just feels like it wasn't meant to be, and that's shitty after you worked on it for so long. This book has been almost published for like almost a decade. Like, that's the first time I got a yes, and then things kind of just blew up on me. So okay, do we have the last stage I can show you? But yeah, they have different types of missions, not just the save different people, but one time there were like different zombies and we had to collect the like flasks off of them. I think she's still my weakest one, but Let's see who I haven't had lead for a while. I think you've seen everybody now. So I can go back to Ranger if this is open. Yep, this is the last one. The last stage as far as I know. I have never been here, Shelpers. This is like as new for me as it is for you. I've never seen it before. Oh my. Of course we end up in a lab in a zombie apocalypse, eh? You know, and some people tell me with my writing, like, don't give up on the particular genre because there could be new publishers that open up every day, but they don't really accept what I do. Like, there'll be a lot for, like, crime novels, but crime poetry collections? Like, yeah, no. Let's get the dive bombing bird back. I'm surprised, like, when the dog and stuff doesn't grab the zombie, like, she's not worried that the dog is gonna get, like, contract a form of zombieism. Oh, also, like, a lot of the studios that were shit-canned by Microsoft are actually getting the rights to their IPs back. Like, Psychonauts has gotten their IP back now. So, if that is one good thing on their side that I can say, or if Sony or whoever, whichever one is shit-canning people all the time, they all do it, so it's hard for me to keep track. But one thing I can say is that's the very least they can fucking do. I mean, right? If you're gonna get rid of somebody, don't hold their IPs hostage and not make another one, or don't, like, put another team on a sequel, like, years down the line. Don't do it. Give it back. Like, don't sit on it. I mean, Rare has had their properties fucking hog-tied, hamstringed for ages. Absolute ages. So, if there is one thing I can say is at least they get their projects back. I can't imagine, like, creating something for, let's say, a decade and a half, 20 years maybe, for somebody, and then being like, yeah, we're gonna keep this and we're never gonna do anything with it, so your fans will never see it again, etc., etc. I would be like, the fuck you say? We're gonna take tank out. Minefield, very nice. But yeah, I'm just like, no thank you. So at least they're doing that for people. Because I would be like, why are you doing this otherwise? I hate when they sit on IPs for years and do nothing with them. I wish that more developers, when they started working with people or big corporations, they would have reversion clauses. Like, if you don't make, like, this out of the IP, I want it back in, like, 4 years or something. Like, if you're not working on it, I guess I would just, like, oh my gosh, there's like a wave coming in. I don't have my swim trunks on. I don't know what to do except get in the middle of the room more. I don't know if I have to, like, kill a certain thing at a certain time before everything closes in. I'm not sure what's going on quite. My clit is very shriveled right now, Shelpers. I can't help it. I don't know what's going on. Oh wait, okay. So it shrinks and then it relaxes like an intake and breath. Okay. I bet you thought I was gonna say something dirty there, didn't ya? Nope, I didn't. Gotta keep you on your toes. That's another thing with YouTube's changing terms of service in February. They started being relaxed a couple years ago about swearing for monetization, and now, nope, you can't at all now. You have to actually put in your shit if you actually bleep out swear words. So if you swear but bleep them out, you still have to fucking let them know, and I'm just like, good fucking lord. Like, are you joking me with this shit? Like, I'm never gonna be monetized anyway. But if they can eventually like kick you off the platform for swearing, I'm gonna be gone tomorrow, Shelpers. Yikes. With knowing that my views have been going down on YouTube, one of the things that another YouTube creator, their partner, actually taught me was they started actually going live on YouTube, and it actually helped. Now, I'm not entirely sure why, but it did. So doing the occasional lives kind of sort of stopped the bleed on their channel to an extent. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if that would work for everybody else, but if you're a YouTube creator, you want to be, I just thought I would like pass that on, because I had absolutely no idea that that was even something that would matter. But apparently it's been helping some people to actually go live there. Even though going live there is, the reach and stuff is very hard. Like, even your own followers don't get the memo when you're live. So there are less lives on YouTube right now than, let's say, Twitch, but overall it's still like really difficult to do anything there. So a person with like 1 million subs apparently can only have like 500 viewers because people don't know they're live, or it doesn't, like, I don't know. It's messed up. But a lot of people who were TikTokers at one point were like, you know what, I'm gonna go to YouTube and make YouTube shorts because that seems like the next natural extension of my content. And they don't realize just how fucking difficult it's gonna be like next year. So if they're planning on making the move next year, I would advise them not to wait. Oh shit. Oh no. I honestly don't know if they can retroactively, like, let's say you got your 90 days with 30 million views, which is bullshit. But let's say you got that, right? I don't know if they can like take that away from you if the next 6 months you barely got anything. I don't know. And they already pay a pittance to people for fucking shorts views anyway, by the way. I don't know if any of you know that, but shorts views are pathetic in as far as like payment per. Not like they have really strong payment per anyway. But for the shorts, it's like really, really bad, so. I'm trying to find the signal before I croak. I'm dancing around it, I think, but everything is just so messy. Oh my god. They're trying to make me not able to liberate anybody ever again. I think they are. I really think they are. Yep. Where everybody's standing is where my fucking person is. They're like, you're not getting another person out of this shit. Probably not. Okay. So yeah, they're just making it rougher and rougher to be a creator out there. And developer. And pretty much everything else. But yeah, if they can kick someone off the platform, I'm gonna have to end up going to Kick because I swear too much, and I don't think I would go to Kick. I don't know. I don't think I'd find a lot of the people who resonate with me there, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I know there are a lot of like right-wingers there and stuff. I don't think I'd fit in. Let's see, minefield, upgrade that, yes please. I'm trying to clear out enough so that I can get the SOS signal. I can't see it still. Like, I'm almost on top of the damn box, but I'm like right here-ish. I can't free him. I don't know what's going on. It's so busy that I can't tell. I swear to God, they say there was a signal out. Oh, good heavens. Laser blades. Ooh, fuck me sideways. Okay, bombing strike. Let's go. Yeah, but it wasn't enough that the red wall's closing for a while. Speaking of, I really wish I would have had a third person help me out with this bullshit. Still not. I mean, I'm getting my health back occasionally. Hi, 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 hi. Jesus. Oh, hi, Clark. Ah, nope. When the walls breathe again, I'm leaving. Okay, please let me find that box. Please let me find the box. Please let me find the box with my person in it. Please let me find my home slice. Oh man, I don't think so. Eep. Okay, please let me find my home slice, please. Every time I think I see it and I don't. I don't know if it's because I have the blue coloring. I don't know if it's a glitch. I don't know what's happening to me. I see the yellow stuff pointing, but now I don't see the green. Now I see the green. Hang on. Is the green not here? I think it's just too busy for me. I see the yellow. Okay, let's get a yellow. I'm gonna die anyway. Oh boy, this has been rough. You know what? I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna walk around in that green area with the crowbar, because if I run over them and can't see it, it will eventually let me open it. See, I would not have known it was, well, no, it wasn't there. I just got the fucking thing, so I still have not found them yet. I will try, I will try. I'm gonna try to use my mini map to guide me. Nope. I'm gonna try to use my mini map. Okay, there we go. Hi, medic. I don't think we're gonna be able to fix this because we're already way too banged up, but hi, medic, how you doing? I was gonna grab Huntress, I love her, but so I can't see on this one. Okay, there's resuscitation, very nice. Oh, good lord. Okay. Please let me have something with health, please, for the love of Christ. No health? Well, there's milk, which is technically a healing item, but man. Yes, okay, yep, I see it. I'm dying, I know. Okay, got some life ahead of me. Good sweet baby Jesus. This is not working out. I'm gonna have to turn back the enemy indicator to red later, and I will forget. I'm used to it being red. I thought it would be helpful to people to not have so much red, but oof. They could use the sides to like lock you out of getting your health items, by the way. That would suck. Or, you know, let's say your magnet that you're trying to walk toward. Medical drone, yes, we need that. Yes, we're gonna get our resuscitation up. And yes to resuscitation. And then the experiment, whatever, because more damage is nice. More damage for them, not for me. More damage for them. Against them, I mean, not for them, as in I'm for them hurting me. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna make it. Yeah, no, definitely not. This feels like one of those games where you are like PUBG, where the area gets like smaller and smaller. I mean, and then it expands, like, but still. Okay, I need to figure out when those end precisely. Okay, there's a yellow box out this way. SOS detected. That'll just give me a we'll take positive attitude even though we're almost in the ground. I know that's not a very positive attitude, DeLuca. Yeah, I know, I get it. Oi. Like I said, the crowbar really fucking helps at this juncture. Because I can just pick it up so much faster and not have to worry. But I'm not doing too badly for this being my first outing and not being, you know, aware of everything that's the level can throw at me as of yet. We should probably try to kill those monsters. I know. You mean kill the things that are trying to kill you? That's a novel idea. Why, yes, I know, thank you. I love my novel ideas. That's why they pay me the big bucks. You know, at one point in my life, I had a genius level IQ. I don't know where the fuck it went, but it has left me like, I don't know, the majority of my family. I don't know how to end that one exactly. But you get it. You can fill in the blank. It's kind of like Mad Libs. Oof. We'll take the stem pack. It's new. Why not? I know there's a thing for the... yeah, this thing. But here's the issue. If they pull in the walls, am I going to be able to chase after the purple things on the map? I don't think so. So, whoa. Nope. I prefer my boobies intact. Thank you so much, though. My boobies like where they are. They've grown up there. Okay, let's see what we got here. I guess we'll start taking the handgun stuff. I don't know. Medical drone for some help. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take her crossbow. That way we have, you know, the damage when everything else is kind of warming up or cooling down or whatever you want to call it. Alright. Repeater crossbow, that's not bad. Alright, let's go. Okay. I don't know where it went. I could look at my mini-map, that would actually be helpful. I try not to though, because I don't want to get distracted. But I'm trying my best. Okay, I think I lost it already. So that should be about 7 maybe? I don't even know. 7 wouldn't be too bad. I am pretty far level wise, so that's why I'm not like getting my ass kicked in the first 3 minutes, but you get your ass kicked a lot until you get everything started in this game. Because at first you die and die and die and die. And then things kind of go, well, that's not too bad then. So one of the things I really love about this game is it's a roguelike, whatever you want to call it, not just like a rogue game. Like, one of the reasons I have problems with I'ma Let You Cook is because I can't get stronger. Like, if you have a bad hand, like bad items and stuff, it's like, well, you kind of have to like go through it. You don't just get more powerful as you go along. In this game, eventually the wall crumbles down because you can, you know, just get enough stuff to make it null and void. So, but I like these kind of games because if you just persevere, then you can get through. And you're not just sitting there going, well, I had a bad run, I have to start all over again. Okay, 0, 6, 11. 11 wins. Explosive damage it is. I end up with a lot of explosive damage. I must like just like upgrading it to that. Then again, people can get caught in like the radials of it and have a worse time, and that's actually good for me when they have a worse time. Like leaves a trail of bodies in its wake versus like a precision strike that hits hills and kits. Yeah, that's a good splinterism right there. Kills or hits one person. There we go. There's my tongue. After this run, I'm going to call it, whether I win or not, because you'll have seen all of the different stuff and whatnot, and you've seen the way like the mission works and how upgrading works and all that fun stuff. I love this game. I really hope they get a multiplayer. We will get a second copy if it is online. If it's offline, that'll be, you know, even better. But and like I said, it does play well on the deck, which you can never tell what games, even if they're deck verified, are actually usable on the deck. I've seen quite a few games where it's like, oh, you can play them and you can't. So deck verified is actually kind of a useless metric. I'm hoping that in the future they do better with that, but I kind of doubt it, because it's not like it's a new pilot program or any fucking thing like that. So, but if they're gonna keep updating and upgrading their prices but not their hardware, they need to do a better job telling us what's available to use. You know what I'm saying? At least that's my thought. Because when the base model of the Steam Deck they got rid of, but like there's an OLED version or something, and that one is the one they, you know, jacked up in price, and it's like, okay, that's all well and good, but if you're not, you know, making the hardware like anything but like a fancier screen and whatnot, like games are gonna get like more sophisticated. So how are you supposed to keep up with the demand for like a console that can play all these like really graphically intense games? And they really can't. So you're really gonna have to start like looking at what they promise you or what you're getting if you have a Steam Deck. And the Steam machine is not going to be that strong either. I've seen it struggle on what the hell is it? Cyberpunk. And granted, my computer will probably struggle on Cyberpunk as well. Like, you're putting out a system, a brand new system, and Cyberpunk is how old exactly now? Like, old enough to be able to be played on new technology? Like, I'm not. So, yeah. They keep, like, giving it updates and stuff, which I'm hoping means they're trying to figure out a way to, you know, update it as to when it can play stuff, or the way it can play stuff better. But I don't know. I don't know how much you can make it play better on the hardware you put in, like how many ever years ago it was. I don't know how old this system is. I think Husby would kind of know, but I don't. So if you aren't gonna keep up with the type of hardware needed, you're gonna have to do something. But yeah, this plays like a dream on here. I know that the same could kind of be said for devs. They could like try to optimize it. There are some games that were like put on the Switch, like put into the Switch after like a good amount of time, and the games that were put on the Switch actually were optimized well. So this like really complicated game like Doom or whatever it was, I forget, can actually be played very well on the Switch without like sacrificing gameplay or too much graphical fidelity, which is great. But I know so many developers don't want to do that. They don't want to like water down their stuff and be like, well, why should I have to make all these like cuts or condense stuff? Like, there are some games that are like 200 gigs, and it's like, that's probably not going to be a game that's going to play very well on a handheld. So, but if Steam is like trying to get them to keep everything available to play, or the majority of it, then maybe we still will be able to. I am not sure. It's kind of a complicated thing. And when Husby got this machine, he had already gotten it secondhand, because the person who was selling it, I think, was going to upgrade to the Switch OLED or something. Not Switch OLED, the Steam Deck OLED, or whatever it's called. I know technology, I'm very good at this. But either way, they were going to upgrade and they passed it on, so Husby got it at a discount, and it's been working really well for us. But I'm just wondering kind of how long. Right now it's been wonderful though, not to have to worry about like subscription services and whatnot to play with, you know, each other. Giggity. Because we're always like, well, when is our, you know, PlayStation Plus gonna run out? When is our Xbox gonna run out? Like, we always have to worry about that, and if we're gonna be able to play certain games in time. So this way we don't at least have to do that. And that's been really nice. Okay, we did this. So I think that's every stage. Let me quickly go back and check. That was the first time I ever did a run there. And also in this game, you can see how many times you've attempted a stage and how many times you've actually beaten the stage. So that's nice too if you want to keep that in mind for your own records. Let's just say play. Let's just grab somebody. Right now, looks like that's everything. Maybe there'll be like a 6th level after you do all the missions. I have no idea. Maybe the lab is like where the final countdown is. I have no idea. But I would like to say thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. And I will see you Tuesday with Husby for Cat Quest 3. And we'll see how far we get. Like I said, we intend on playing it the whole time, so we'll have to see. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you Tuesday. Bye!